All right, hello and welcome back. In this video, we're going to go into another element of a good prompt. And I want to talk about specificity. Now, one of the things that's interesting is sometimes, even if you tell it what you want, like um, for example, when I was pulling the name, email, and phone numbers out of my emails that the website was sending me prior to just linking it directly to this email software, I was, telling ChatGPT, output the name, comma, space, last name, comma, space, email, space, email, something like that, whatever. I'm giving it the exact format that I want as a single shot prompt. And yet it did that, but it did it loosely. And so what I mean by that is it said, yes, thank you so much for your request. I have formatted the emails as you wanted. Here they are below. And then it says one period, so then it numbered lists it and gives all that stuff to me, which doesn't solve my problem because I now then have to go and cut out all the numbers and the numbered lists and all that writing when I take it over to the email software and then paste all that in. I got to cut all that out. So that actually just recreates the same problem I was trying to get away from, which was getting rid of name and email and last name that the email provided me. Does the problem there make sense to you guys?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So it is doing what I asked, but it's also not doing it exactly the way that I asked. It is throwing other things in there that I don't want. This is also something that happens a lot on the back end when we're saying write a blog and write it on, this keyword, use these URLs, use this LSI keyword. And it's like, wonderful. I will go ahead and write a blog outline. And it's like, save your words, stop talking about that stuff. Just do what I said. And so when we need it to tighten and stop putting in the extra added fluff that it usually does, we can use the word or something similar to the word exactly or the word zero. So what I did to solve the email issue where it's giving me a numbered list and it's giving me its thoughts on how it's like, I don't care. Just give me only and exactly the information included in the prompt. And so that way it understands, not only do I want it formatted like this, I also want only that and exactly that and nothing else. And that solved the problem. And I just made sure that was in every prompt. And then it gave me no numbered lists. It gave me nothing else, no thoughts, no outro, no summary, and that is all I got. And that can be very helpful if you're especially right now with the word counts. It's like maybe it can put out somewhere between 500 and 1,000 words in its output, and then 150 of those words are it telling you how it would be happy to help you. Don't tell me that. Just save the words and put them into the output. So, you can say something to the effect of say exactly nothing, because it's weird to say that, but that is like uh added clarity for the AI. So it's like uh, you know, say the following, and then it's like, I would love to say the following. Let me tell you about how to say the following, and then it says the following. It's okay, no. Say nothing but the following. I would love to say nothing but the following. Let me tell you. And then it tells you the following. It's like, okay, you're not getting it. Say exactly 0 words outside of what the example shows. And then you give it the example, and then it will just output the example. So that's one way to do it. Another way to add clarity and specificity, maybe this is another video, but it's so simple that I don't think we need one for it, is to just say it in caps. So sometimes I'll say exactly 0 things or 0 words other than this in your output and format everything like that. And I'll say, name, comma, space, email, and that's it. And so then it will give me that, or it won't. If it doesn't, then you go back and you caps all of the things that you said that you want it to really focus in on, and then it'll just pay attention. It's really, really weird how it does that. If you were to put this sort of thing into code, because again, this is a robot, it's an AI. And so it is a computer, but it's also not a computer. But if I went into code and ran that into a coding software and said, say exactly 0 things other than this output, it would just be like loop output. And it wouldn't, there's no room for interpretation. But even with the AI, it will focus more on some things than other things. I know they also will focus more at the beginning of the prompt and the end of the prompt. And so sometimes you have to simplify the prompt to get it to pay attention. And anyway, in this case, you say exactly 0 words other than this, and it doesn't do it. It's not because it's not clear. It's because it's not actually paying attention and it's focused on something else. So then you capitalize it and it's like, oh, okay, I guess he actually means that. And like, I don't know how that works on the back end, but it will get its attention and then it will start outputting that way. If that doesn't work, then the specificity is still unclear, and most likely you have something conflicting with it. So you'll say exactly this, and then later on you'll say something else, and you didn't realize, and you're actually confusing it. So the word exactly, the word 0, say exactly, nothing else, something like that. Then in order to further specify and add clarity, change important words to all caps. And if that doesn't work, then you probably are communicating in a confusing manner, where either you're still not clear for some reason, or later on you said something that is confusing it. One example of this might be, follow the 3 steps below exactly. So it knows it's supposed to go step 1, step 2, step 3. And you say step 1, read the prompt and output exactly nothing except this. And then you say this. Then you have step 2, but you forgot to label step 2, step 2. So it still thinks step 2 is step 1, where you're telling it to output something different. It does not understand the difference between step 1, where it's supposed to say exactly this, and step 2, where it's got more freedom because you didn't label it. And so it's just getting boggled. It doesn't know what's going on. And so it's just making stuff up based on whatever it's feeling. So you go back in and you're like, oh, I didn't say step 2. You put in step 2, and now it knows what you're talking about. Now it actually follows the steps exactly, and it knows what's happening. Does all that make sense? Is that clear enough?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll go ahead and end this video and continue on from here.